Good morning. Today we're doing lesson 8-1.
Cracking a number story code. 1. Every year, Blythe Elementary School holds a contest. Each class is given 7 problems about the school. The answers are part of a code that tells where a hidden prize is located. The class that cracks the code and gets to the location first wins the prize. Help Mrs. Fitzgerald's class win the prize by solving the problems and cracking the code. The school custodian, Mr. Granger, brought every pencil he found on the floor this week to the school lost and found. At the end of the week, there were 126 pencils in the lost and found. Mr. Granger said he found 3 pencils in one classroom and 5 pencils in each of 3 classrooms. He then found an equal number of pencils in each of the 9 remaining classrooms. How many pencils did he find in each of those 9 classrooms? Blank pencils.
All right, good morning. So we need to figure out what's important in this problem. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to underline the important information. So it says at the end of the week there are 126 pencils in lost and found. So that's an important number. Mr. Granger said he found 3 pencils in one classroom. That's important. 5 pencils in each of 3 classrooms. Okay. And then he found an equal number of pencils in the remaining 9 classrooms. So we're going to break this up. Okay. So let's figure out how many pencils were found in the classroom. So 3 pencils in one classroom. So we know there's 3 pencils and 5 pencils in each of the 3 classrooms. So then we're going to have to add 5 pencils in each of the 3 classrooms. So we are going to have to do what kind of problem to figure out if there were 5 pencils in 3 classrooms? Yeah, we're going to multiply. So we're going to do 5 times 3. 3 plus 5 times 3. And so what's 5 times 3? Yep, this would be 15. And then what's 3 plus 15? Yeah, it would be 18. So Mr. Granger found 18 pencils in these classrooms. So there was 126 altogether. And he said he found an equal number of pencils in each of the 9 remaining classrooms. So the first step we're going to do is we need to figure out how many pencils are left. So we're going to take 126 and we're going to subtract these 18 pencils right here. So let's subtract. We can't take 8 away from 6, so we're going to go borrow. And then this turns into 16. And what's 16 minus 8? It would be 8. And then 1 minus 1 is 0. And so we have 108 left. Now we need to find an equal number of pencils in each classroom. So when it says an equal number of pencils in each classroom, I know that I'm going to have to do a division problem. So I'm going to take 108 and I'm going to divide it by 9. Okay, and to divide it, I'm going to use partial products. So how many times can 9 go into 108 without going over? So I'm going to try 10 at first because I know that 10 times 9 equals 90. And so that's a pretty easy number for me to figure out. So 8 minus 0 is what? Yep, 8. And then I can't take 9 away from 0, so I have to borrow, and that turns into 10. 10 minus 9 is, yep, it's 1. How many times can 9 go into 18? Yes, twice. So 10 plus 2 equals 12. And so, how many pencils did he find in each one of those classrooms? He found 12 pencils.
Cracking a number story code. 2. Mr. Granger walked by the cafeteria after lunch. He saw that the chairs around the 9 tables had been moved. He saw 12 chairs at each of 5 tables, 5 chairs at each of 3 tables, and 6 chairs at 1 table. He moved the chairs so that each table had the same number. How many chairs did he put at each table? Blank chairs.
All right, so we need to look at the information and see what's important. So 12 chairs at each of the 5 tables, 5 chairs at each of the 3 tables, and 6 chairs at 1 table. So let's figure out how many chairs we have in all. So we're going to do 12 chairs at 5 tables, so we're going to multiply those. 5 chairs at 3 tables, find out how many we have in all, and 6 chairs at 1 table, okay? 12 times 5 equals what? 60. 5 times 3 equals 15. And 6 times 1 equals 6. So now let's add those together. 5 plus 6 equals 11. 6, 7, 8, 81. Okay. Now, so we have 81 over here. Oops. We have 81 over here. And let's figure out how many chairs we have. So we're going to add these numbers. So what's 5 plus 3 plus 1? Yeah, it'd be 9. So we're going to take 81. We're going to divide it by 9. So we figure out how many chairs that we have. And so what times 9 equals 81? Yeah, it would be 9 because that's a doubles fact that we know. 9 times 9 equals 81. Alrighty, let's try one more problem.
Cracking a number story code. 3. Every year, students enter artwork in a state competition. This year, there were 137 winners. Of these, 25 came from private and home schools. The rest were from 8 school districts. Each district had the same number of winners. The winner from our school district came from 7 schools, including ours. All of the schools in our district had the same number of winners. How many students from our school were winners? Blank students.
Okay, so let's go through and highlight the important information. So this year there were 137 winners. Of these, 25 came from private and home schools. The rest were from 8 school districts. Each district had the same number of winners. The winners from our school district came from 7 schools, including ours. All the schools in our district had the same number of winners. Alright, so we have 137 students, winners, but 25 came from private and home school. And we want to know how much from our school were winners. So we can subtract those because we know that that isn't correct. So 7 minus 5 would be 2, and then 3 minus 2 would be 1, and 1 minus 0 would be 112. So the rest were from 8 school districts, including ours, and they came from 7 schools. So we're going to need to take 8 times 7 to figure out how many schools there are. So what's 8 times 7? Yep, it would be 56. Okay. Now we need to figure out all the schools in the district had the same number of winners. So we're going to take 112 and divide it by 56. And that equals that equals 2, because 56 times 2 equals 112. So how many students from our school were winners? It would be 2 students. All right, I want you guys to try the rest so that you guys can try to crack the code. Thank you very much for learning with me today.